You should probably turn that off. Oh, you were new background. I have to scrap the idea of plugins out. RIP. I'm sure you'll eventually figure out how to do these plugins. But right now, you kind of seem to be the bane of your little project. Wait, oh, this case! Nice! More reading. This case contains spoilers for Link's Awakening. Progress through this story will overwrite your current progress. That's fine. Yep. This case works best if Link is a thief in your Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening save file. Ah. Fuck. I might not actually be able to do this. I just have to, like, I don't know, speedrun the game or something. That's annoying. Yeah, I know there's no save data. The saves are marked as thief. Continue anyway? Well, if it works without a save, we're fine. Let's see. June 6th. 6:21 AC. June 6th, 2:17 AM. Phew, made it in time, I guess. Still no clue why on earth they called me here at this ungodly hour. You. Yes, me. I don't like being woken up at 2 AM either, believe me. I really hope that old fool has a good explanation for this. Old fool? You mean the judge? Ah, I see you're both here already. Already here. Splendid. I hope this wasn't too much of an inconvenience for you. That remains to be seen. What could possibly be so important about this burglary case to warrant this kind of urgency? Case? Doing a trial? You mean you haven't been told, defense? Oh dear, my apologies. I suppose I did order the soldiers not to tell anyone about what happened. They must have interpreted that a bit too literally. But that's fine. Secrecy is paramount here. Yes, having an entire entourage of alien soldiers arriving at the Gerudo Fortress in the middle of the night was the pinnacle of stealth. No one knows. It's a secret to everyone. Nice. Hold it. Wait a moment. I can't just defend someone off the cuff like this. It'd be incredibly unfair to the defendant. Oh, doubting your skills? As much as I'd like to agree with you, defense, we have no choice in the matter. This trial must happen this very moment. Well, get on with it then, old man. What is this about? Right, of course. Let me start from the beginning. A few hours ago, I was finishing my daily I can't say that word. Ablutions. When a great light appeared within my chambers. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. The night literally became day before my very eyes. And that wasn't all. People started to come out of the light. I was shaken with fear. One of those people claimed to be a goddess herself, Hylia. What? Ugh. I don't believe me. I was flabbergasted as you are. The goddess proceeded to explain that in another world, one of her chosen heroes had become severely punished for committing some terrible deed. She decided that someone else should determine whether the punishment was just or not, to which he was fucking killed. For her own biases would not affect the outcome. Our own world was chosen as the best candidate to make this judgment. Okay. Okay. This is a joke, right? There's no way any of this is true. This is insane. Yes, it seems the judge has completely lost his marbles. Clearly, his age has finally caught up with him. I will be filing appropriate notices as soon as I can. At the very least, we can both get back to sleep quickly. That is true. Oh, boo, I believe I know just the way to convince you two. Soldiers, please call in the defendant. The defendant? What the? Huh? Hi, thief. The defense. Defense? So tired. What's happened? We don't have time to watch you pass out. Get yourself together. Alright, that's what happened. Well, defense, are you convinced now? I guess I can't deny it, can I? That's definitely me. A younger, wilder, perhaps. But sure enough. I guess so. Excellent. In that case, let us formally begin. This court is now in session for the trial of Thief of Koholint Island. Objection. Your Honor, you can't just declare him the thief from the get-go. No, of course not. I have his name written down here. It just seems that I'm unable to say it. Fascinating. A curse of sorts? I assume that this is the punishment where we are to decide is just or not. Just? Just? How could this be just? Be forever called thief by everyone? Even I can't say my own name anymore. Well, as far as I'm concerned, it seems right to me. After all, everyone is just speaking the truth, are they not? The defense demands the prosecution abstain from claiming unproven statements. I firmly believe my client innocent, of course. Oh, well, about that. I might have actually done it. Oh. Yeah, Her Greatness did specify that the defendant's guilt was non-negotiable. We are only here to determine whether the punishment he faced for it was reasonable. Now then, prosecution, please give your opening statement. What? I have my badge. My kleptomaniac self from another world. What? I don't know anything about this case, old man. You only just called us in here, remember? You're the one with the details. So go on, get to it. Oh. Well, I suppose Actually, why don't we just let the victim describe what happened? He should have the most accurate knowledge of the event. Yeah, so see some kind of nightmare. Every good lawyer knows you should never defend yourself. Does this count? I guess that's kind of what that guy looks like. Alright, who are you then? Yeah, myself. I own the tool shop back in Caholet, I do. The greatest shop in town, it is, I tells ya. It's the only shop in town. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Not so close. No touching. You don't know what could happen. The world could implode. I don't think the goddess would allow this whole thing if that were a real possibility. I hate
lawyer
that.
who represents himself only has a fool for a client.
What? So what? What if it's the only shop? There's no better in this world or the next. Never seen anyone complaining. Yes, yes, whatever. Now tell us what happened. How did you let yourself get swindled so easily? I say it all. Just you watch me. Ugh, I hate reading kind of dialect. Witness testimony. The Great Heist. Who's just a normal day was tending to me cash register. Then suddenly, this kid burst in, a green blur, I tells ya. He grabs the nearest thing and runs behind meself. So I turn around, but he ain't there no more. So I turn back to the entrance, and caramba, he's gone. Nowhere to be seen, I tells ya. I can't afford me wares going for free, you know. They're already cheap as possible. Why I oughta... Well, I suppose he did already pay the ultimate price. He didn't go back in and get killed. Why? Why? What a descriptive testimony. I feel as if I were there. Hold on, there's just one thing I'm confused about. Who was it that set this, curse, or whatever it is, on my client? It was me, of course! What kind of shopkeeper would I be without some magic? I know how it looks, but this guy can literally shoot deadly energy beams. I would not underestimate him. Right, of course. Without further ado, please proceed with the cross-examination defense. Oh, we're just gonna press him on everything, so that's literally all I can do. You attend to the cash register. Hold it. Do you have many customers at your store on regular days like this, witness? Nah, can't say I do. It's a small town, you know. Besides, I think lately people have been spending their money at that blasted trendy game. Oh, that four-eyed scoundrel runs such an eyesore. Trendy game? It's a crane game that's also in town, 10 rupees per game. And it's pretty easy to win. And you get a Yoshi plushie out of it. Oh, is something wrong if people prefer to literally gamble on a crane game than buy from this guy? Please continue, witness. Then suddenly, a kid bursts in a green blur. Now you know it was him. A blur? Are you sure it was definitely my client? I swear it's on me mum. I couldn't be anyone else. It's a small town, you know. I know everyone there. No one else wears weird green dresses. Hey, this is my finest tunic. I fail to see how this matters in any case. Have you forgotten that your doppelganger's guilt has already been established, defend? Forgotten? No, but I wish I could. That's the nearest thing. What is it that was stolen, anyway? Why does that matter? You stole something, and that's that. No need to be getting into the nitty-gritty. As it happens, defense, the goddess herself forbade us from talking about this. She called it a, technical limitation, whatever that means. What? But that's the most important question here. If it was something cheap, surely we can agree that the punishment is too severe. It is what it is. I must ask you to drop this line of questioning. This is ridiculous. Oi! Don't look so glum, chum! Here you go. Here's a flyer with all my wares. That should give you an idea of what it might have been. Well, it's something at least. The clerk accepts the flyer into evidence. Let's see, it should be... what, a shield, a bow, some hearts, and a bomb? Bow, shovel, shield, arrows, bombs, heart. I missed shovel. Highly likely it was a cheap item. Please continue. Although if it was optimal, you'd probably have... Oh, I turn around. Patrons can freely go behind the counter like this? No, of course not. I don't have a counter. What? Customers have to hold their items while I ring them up. But wouldn't the register have to be on a counter or something similar? Well, yeah, I suppose. But it's only big enough to fit me register, not for any products, too. That's what I meant. I see. You got a problem? Ooh, you had to criticize my interior decor. Best to have a little extra fluff as possible. But have as little extra fluff. Keeps the customer's eyes on the wares, you see. Well, I can't deny there's some logic to that. But he ain't there no more. Hold it. Hey, actually that reminds me. I noticed that the wall behind me was starting to get moldy. This stray thought distracted me for a split second, you see. Is this all a joke? Some kind of skit? I turn back to the entrance. Oh yes, he wasn't there either. As I live, the slimy rope. Because in these games, snakes are called ropes. And Caramba, he's gone. If you see, I tells you. Wait. I don't think there's any reason. Your establishment doesn't actually have the type of security, does it? Bah! I never needed any. Everyone in the town trusts everyone else. Everyone was, whoa, shocked when I told them. I tells you, shocked! Can't afford me wares going for free, you know? They're already as cheap as possible. Why you oughta what? I do have to ask. Why did you steal from this store exactly? Why did you need to steal from the store exactly? Well, you see, I spent all my money on the grand game. I really needed one of those things in there. Yes, that's what paying is for. I was shipwrecked. I wasn't exactly swimming in rubies. Defense, do you actually have a question? Defense, do you have an actual question for the witness? Then let us move on. Continue, shopkeeper. I suppose you already did pay the ultimate price. What does that mean? Oh, this guy. No, that's right. This guy literally killed me when I went back into the store. What? You know, if you're going to make up a lie, at least make it believable. It's not a lie, it's true. How are you here, then? I don't know. It got undone somehow. One moment, I'm getting fried, then poof. I'm back at the doorstep, and that guy's just smiling at me, creepily. Surely death is enough of a punishment for theft. This all sounds very hard to believe, Dependent. Well, what did the witness mean by the ultimate price, then? Oh ho! Why, I just meant the curse I said on him, didn't I? Yes, that was it. Perfectly sensible. Okay, I'm starting to get goosebumps. But surely that is all there is to it. Well, that was quite the testimony. If you say so, you're the liar here? Whatever that means. Wait, you saying there's no lawyers back in your world at all? I don't think there are. How weird. I can't imagine how that would even work. Anyway, I best stay on track. I don't have much to work with here, so I should keep pressing for more details. I have pressed literally everything. I think the only thing I can think is this. Because the bow is 900 rupees. Cheap, you say? Not quite true now, is it? Whatever do you mean, defense? Your Honor, if you'd look at the flyer the witness has so graciously provided us with, do any items here seem like a bargain to you? Well, let's see. Goodness gracious! 980 rupees for a simple bow? Why, that's more than I get paid in... Now wait just a bloomin' second! All the villagers be happy with me shop, no one's ever complained, you know. Is that so, witness? Tell me, how many customers do you get each day? Ha-ha! That's not important, all because of that blasted trendy game. Not me fault folks prefer to play with the stupid crane. I will agree that the prices are a bit inflated. So what? What do you mean, so what? My other self needed to survive somehow, and these prices were entirely unreasonable. I was shipwrecked. It would have taken me months to get that kind of money. Yes. Given a survival scenario, I suppose this explains the defendant's motive at the very least. Indeed, he didn't just steal out of malice or profit in mind. It was a life or death situation. Life or death, you say? Tell me, which one of the items listed in the flyer is necessary for survival precisely? Well, for instance... the hearts, I guess. Exactly. Maybe the recovery hearts. 10 rupees is way too much for those. Oh, I agree. That's a terrible deal, given that you can get them just by cutting some grass. Yeah. Oh. Yes, everything the store carried that one might need for survival could have been easily obtained elsewhere. The defendant had no pressing need to do... Why did that just skip? Had no pressing need to steal anything. The prosecution makes a valid point. There's no food or water listed among the wares, after all. I wasn't just trying to survive. I was trying to leave the island. Leave the island? Bah. And how would you do that using this set of items, pray tell? Were you planning to paddle off the island with a shovel? No, not directly like that. The island can't be escaped by normal means. I needed them to wake the windfish. The what now? What? The heck is a windfish? I'm not sure. Right. So you knew it needed to be awakened because Because an owl told me! Are you trying not to make sense at this point? Woot woot! Woohoo! Perhaps I can shed some light on this particular matter. By Jove, it's me! By Jove, is that a talking owl? Ooh. Ooh, I felt like I was needed, and so I came. Ooh. You would be wise not to scoff at what your counterpart is telling you. Oh, you mean... Ooh. Yes, of course. Everything the brave young lad has said is true. He is on a special quest, and Koholint is no regular island at all. If you will allow me, I can explain everything. Woohoo! Oh, thank goddesses. Thank the goddesses. Finally, someone will actually explain something. What other nonsense? I object to the presence of this animal in my courtroom. Nice. This is just Parrot Case all over again from actual Ace Attorney. An animal in my courtroom? No way am I going to listen to the testimony of an owl. Oh, so you've accepted everything else happening here, but not this? The defense demands the right to cross-examine the bird. Out of all the boneheaded, stupid... Order! Allow me to share my opinion on this matter. I see a lot of myself in that owl, and given the situation at hand, I see nothing wrong with allowing a bird to testify, unusual as it may be. Oh. Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? Please tell us all we need to know about the nature of Koholint Island. Hoot. Koholint's very existence, its very essence, is tied to the windfish's slumber. As long as the windfish sleeps, the island cannot be escaped, like a terrible nightmare. The young sword-bearer must thus search for 8 instruments of the sirens and play the ballad that will wake the Great One. With the instruments all united, the windfish's slumber shall come to an end, and so shall Koholint. That didn't explain anything either. Huh. Just like I said, listening to this bird is a waste of time. Perhaps it was not as clear as I had hoped. Do forgive me. Over-mystifying is a bit of an occupational hazard for our kind. What occupation? Professional owl? Please, if you have questions, I will happily answer. Well, well, the witness seems to be all but begging to be cross-examined. Defense, please go right ahead. He's so done. Alright. I'm going to press you on so many things. Its very essence, tied to the windfish. Well... Let's start with the dongo in the room. What the heck is a windfish? The dongo? No, young counselor. You must be confused, Hoot. The windfish? The Leviathan? It's a huge whale. As far as Koholint is concerned, it has always been, and as long as Koholint is, it will always be. Right. A deity whale. Forget the fact that whales are not fish, but at this point I don't think it really matters. As long as the fish sleeps, yeah, it cannot be escaped like a terrible nightmare. What would happen if you did try? Why couldn't you just build a raft and try and sail away? Oh, truthfully, I do not know. Perhaps, no matter how long you sailed, the island would just never fade from view. The sea would never end like an infinite staircase until you turned back around and found yourself back where you started in no time. Or, perhaps, you would just die. Yikes, that's a possibility. I admit, I thought about trying that a few times. There is but one way to escape. Instruments of the Siren. So much to unpack with that one. Well, how does one obtain these elusive instruments exactly? That is no simple task, to be sure. The instruments of the Sirens sleep deep within temples scattered across the land, wrought with monsters, traps, and other dangers. At the end of each, a formidable foul foe guarding a peace. Yes, Hoot. To obtain all the instruments of yours is to slay all those who corrupt the island from within. Slaying foes sounds like some kind of mass murder spree. It appears... Yes, it appears that our worlds may differ from each other more significantly than I thought. I cannot feel him here. How strange. What in Din's name are you blabbling about now, you feathered menace? In our land, since the very beginning of time, an evil influence has permeated all. The King of Evil, the Demon Lord Ganon. From the very dirt of the earth to to even the first thoughts of an infant. If you dig deep enough, if you look closely enough, you will find malice and hatred. The King of the King of Evil, Ganon. Oh, he's noticed too. Can it just be a coincidence? Naturally, when I speak of vanquishing foes, I speak of his creations. Deeply rooted in the most primordial evil, these foul beasts' only goal are for their own survival and for the misery of others. Oh, no being that has been touched by Hylia's grace would object to their destruction. It is as innate to our nature as breathing. And yet, here is a world without him. Is your world lucky to have been spared, or is ours particularly unlucky? That I do not know. Perhaps this is even the very reason her grace has chosen this world to send us to. You have any idea what this is about? I think I do, actually. Really? I don't think it really matters for what we're talking about, though. Right. We get back to the matter at hand, then. Why, of course. I was just musing aloud. This is like, yes, let's start to hold it. Right. And I don't suppose making noise any other way would suffice? You know, just screaming into its ear or something? Of course not, my dear counselor. The windfish's sleep is not natural. A magical slumber like that can only be broken via natural means. Right, but what do you mean by that last part? Will something happen to Koholon when the windfish wakes? Koholint Island is a magical place born of the windfish's slumber. Once the Leviathan awakens, the magic keeping Koholint in place will dissipate. You mean... Of course. When the windfish wakes, Koholint will disappear, and nary a sight shall remain. What? Did you know about this? Well, truth be told, I suspected. Ah, clever lad. Yes, surely you have noticed. The only shop in town selling nothing but tools and equipment, shopkeepers of magical powers, villages of talking animals. Koholint as a whole is unnatural. It is a place made of dreams and nightmares. Villages of talking animals. Must have missed that part. What about the inhabitants then? Where will they go when the island disappears? Where indeed? After all we've heard here, I think one thing has been made clear. My client has truly found himself in a life-or-death situation. His testimony fully corroborates that. On top of that, to escape the island, he had to go on a life-threatening quest. In order to survive this ordeal, he needed to be as well equipped as possible. The only way to get the needed equipment was from the store, which was charging exorbitant prices. These were all clear mitigating factors. And with that in mind, the defense asserts the punishment is far too severe. Indeed. A wise choice. This does paint the defense in a more positive light. It appears the theft might have been necessary given the situation. Yes, that was easier than I thought. And it's still early enough to go back to sleep. That owl always used to annoy me a little. He's really come to my rescue this time, hasn't he? Hasn't it? Oh, I am only here to help, lad. I feel there is no need to further prolong this trial. Well, the court, Ganon is still just unlocked for being told he's evil in another world. While this court does not condone the defendant's act in and of itself, I do now believe that he has been punished too harshly for it. And so this court finds the defendant... Objection. Old man, surely you don't mean to tell me you've woken me in the dead of night just to make a farce out of this trial. Farce? But Mr. Dragmire, defense has just presented a rather compelling argument. Compelling? Don't make me laugh. Yes, he had a reason to do what he did. All criminals have reasons. That's no justification. It wasn't just any reason. Survival was at stake here. Survival doesn't matter. Was it, though? You, bird brain. Yes, what is it? You said the defendant was going to visit a bunch of dusty old temples in search of the instruments. Tell me, were those instruments the only thing in there? No, I suppose they were not. What? With structures as old as those, you're bound to find things left by previous inhabitants. Why? Yes, I'm sure there would be a lot of treasure left in there too. Oh no. Treasure, money, all of that was within the brat's grasp. He could have easily gotten the funds to properly purchase the item he stole with only a little legwork. Wait a moment. It wouldn't be that easy. Those places were full of monsters and traps. Without any equipment, it would have been too dangerous to go alone. Oh, and how quickly you've forgotten, defend. Trying to recall this flying menace's words from just a few moments ago. The young sword bearer must thus search... Yeah, sword bearer. Ah! A little kleptomaniac had a perfectly good sword with him. He wasn't barehanded at all. No, all he was looking for was some easy wants some kind of easy shortcut out of his predicament. Or maybe a little snake wanted to keep all the treasure to himself. Ban. How dare you? I'm not some greedy treasure hoarder. Either way, the defendant might have had a reason for his theft. But I say the reason was likely nothing. Why does it keep doing that? This is like auto-advancing. But I say it was likely nothing but selfishness. He wanted to keep the treasure. Now, barrister, that's not even remotely possible. All of the treasure, as part of Koholint, would naturally disappear with it. Ugh. Bah! That doesn't mean anything. The twerp might not have known that. Oh, come on. Just admit you're wrong. Now, this is quite the pickle indeed. Prosecution has brought up some good points, but so has the defense. Furthermore, we seem to be out of testimony to discuss. At this point, this will be a hard decision to make. Actually, that reminds me. There was something you kept bringing up in your testimony, Mr. Witness. Yes, what is it? You often mention Koholint is like a dream, or a nightmare. How literal is that? What are you going on about now? Of course it's not actually. Oh no, it very much is. What? What? I thought the point was clear. My apologies. Koholint only exists within a dream. We are all in a dream right now, too, in fact. Oh my, this whole trial is real? I should have known this whole thing was just way too fantastical. Well then, now that we've made that clear, I guess I'm just gonna go wake up and, if you don't mind... You're staying here. Why, that might be the wisest thing you've proposed so far, defense. But of course, it's not going to be you waking up. I'm the only real person here. I haven't the slightest idea how my mind conjured up this nonsense. Shouldn't have had that noble pursuit before bed. Oh, then I suppose it wouldn't be the first time I've dreamt of the courtroom. It's never been quite this vivid, but I guess this old man still has quite the active imagination. Meanwhile, my imagination is a bit overactive right now, I guess, and I haven't even had any noble pursuits. I'm real. Please wait. Huh? You can't just wake up. What about me? What about you? You're clearly just an invention of my mind, rat. But hey. But hey, you want a resolution? No problem. Judge, declare a guilty verdict right now. Prosecutor Dragmire, I refuse to hand down a faulty verdict, even in my dreams. No, that won't do. I will just have to wake up now. Here it goes. We're still here. Panic. Strange. You don't seem to be able to. If I may interject, I have said that this is a dream, yes, but would that mean that nothing in here is real? Oh, be quiet, you pile of feathers. I banish you from my dream. Be gone. This is so good. What? What is this? Am I stuck in this nightmare? Well, naturally, only one person here can actually control the dream. Everyone else is just along for the ride, so to speak. Are Are you saying everyone here is actually real, just sharing the same dream? Why, of course. The Grace chose one person to be the host, and then thrust the others into it. Preposterous. If this is all in that green brat's dream, why doesn't he just remove the curse on his own? Preposterous, not at all, my angry Gerudo friend. How do you know he's a Gerudo? Because those don't exist in Koholint, do they? I never said he's the one in charge. He came from the dream world of Koholint, after all. Well, how did he wind up in someone else's dream when you How did he wind up in someone else's dream, then, you blasted buzzard? Having battled with Ganon before, he is of particular interest to the Demon Lord. The Evil One saw an opportunity and forcefully shoved him into the dream of the Windfish. A dreamscape he has been steadily perverting with his evil for many years. He infested it with his own creations, twisted into a dangerous place, and imprisoned its creator within. As a result, that is why our green-clad friend cannot wake up normally. But this world is free of Ganon. Whoever the host of the dream is, could indeed just wake. Although, I cannot imagine the goddess Hylia would be very thrilled with that conclusion, having made all the effort to bring her chosen hero here. How did you know all this? Why, isn't it obvious? I myself am part of the Windfish's spirit. I could not just stand idly by when Hylia's own champion was dealt such a bad hand. And so, I tried to lead you to the 8 instruments, and I reached out to Hylia for help with this predicament. I can hardly believe it. Well, who is it then? Who's the one controlling this dream? I'm looking right at him. Oh. That I do not know. That is something you'll have to find out for yourself. Whoever it is will have the final word in this trial. So that's it then. It all hinges on this point. Who is the dream's Windfish? Who is this dream's Windfish? I must consider all the facts. Okay. Who is the one that Her Grace Hylia chose to control the stream? Could it be one of these people? Maybe the judge? If the goddess is looking for a verdict, the judge would be the great candidate to give. But wait, the judge wasn't just able to wake up just now. Oh. Dead. So that whole bit about him being blasted by light and having stuff happen? Right, neither. Judge and judge have already conclusively proven they're not the host of this dream. That just leaves you. And then the owl, I guess. No, not them either. They're from Koholint. They'd each have ended their travel in their favor by now if they were in control. And I already know that Thief isn't the one in control, so who does that leave? I'm in control, it's me, I am the host. I am the host. I am this dream's Windfish. Nice. That's it. There's no doubt about it. And now we get to leave the grotto. Well, what are you looking so smug about? Isn't it obvious? I've just realized you must be the one controlling the stream. No, it can't be. I see you've realized it too now. Now too. Oh my, you mean you're the one? Well, let's just give it a try, shall we? What are you... Poof! Hello, everyone. Oh, yeah. Now this stream's getting good. Whoa! Marin? Defense. Defense. What did you do to Prosecutor Dragmire? Nothing bad, of course. I just ejected him out of here. He's probably waking up rather abruptly right now. I decided to be nicer to have. I decided it'd be nicer to have someone more pleasant to deal with on the opposing side. The prosecution has nothing more to add. The defendant's totally innocent. I won't stand for this. You can't just give yourself an easier opponent. That's a shame. Wait. Who will give the verdict now? I know of one good candidate. Huh? Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Will the defendant please step up to the stand? Is this really okay? I thought the goddess wanted a fair trial. Actually, she requested no such thing. What? The way the judge put it, the only stipulation was someone else decide your fate. She decided that someone else should determine whether the punishment was just or not, to ensure her own bias would not affect the outcome. At no point did she specify how the decision should be made, or how many people should be making it. That still feels like cheating. Well, there's only one easy way to find out if it's allowed or not. As court finds the defendant. Wait, I'm not having this. My product was still stolen, you know. What kind of justice is goodbye? Don't interrupt me. Now then, once again, this court finds the defendant not guilty. Wait, the owl is now the defense? Let's see, your name is Link. Oh, it's the same. Of course our names are the same. I'm not sure why you're surprised. In any case, I believe you should be getting back to your own world now. And no more stealing, you hear? Of course not. Never again. Glad to hear that. Best of luck on your quest. And with that, court is adjourned. That was cute. June 6th, 4:22 a.m. Link's Legal Agency. Kakariko Village. No! What? Where? The office? That's right, I stayed up to catch up on work. I guess I must have fallen asleep reading case files. Man, what a crazy dream, though. What? What is that about? Again? What was it about again? I was in court, and then... Ah, darn. It's gone already. Can't remember a single thing. Oh well. The end. That was funny.